it's certainly good to get the first win of the year. It certainly wasn't pretty. But we've had a number of these games over the years that we didn't find a way to win. And, Idaho, my hat's off to them. They certainly came in with a good focus and played physical and played well. And again, it was just great that we got in a tight game in the fourth quarter and found a way to win it. Obviously, a lot of things we got to get cleaned up. To go from a fairly clean game last week with the penalties and those type of things, it just blew up on us today. I mean, we just looked very undisciplined. I thought our offensive line at times, was almost dysfunctional. And, we certainly have a lot of things to work on to get ready for next week.
Coach, how significant was your defense, in the red zone?
I thought our defense really played really, really well tonight, and especially on some of those sudden changes. I mean, keeping them out of the end zone before the half was really big. And, we gave up the one touchdown at the end, which was a fade ball. But other than that, our defense made stops when they had to and kept them out of the end zone and really kept us in the game at the first half. And then that turnover in the second half, which led to being up 15, was a huge play too. So our defense battled. We're getting better on defense, and those guys have worked hard, and it's starting to pay off.
Sometimes, Dave, the defense, you want the defense to create a turnover and things like that. The two turnovers that they created were critical in terms of what they did in the force of the game. Will you just talk a little bit about their importance in the game?
Those two turnovers in the fourth quarter, that's the football game right there. I mean, it really is. If they don't turn the one led directly to a touchdown, so now we're up 15 instead of up 8. And then the other one took away any chance they had of coming back. At that point, we were able to run the ball and wind down the clock. So it was, this is a game of mistakes, and they made, I think they had, 3 turnovers tonight? So, and they made one more than us, and that was the difference in the game.
Will you talk also about you're creating the turnovers? It's not their mistake that you take advantage of. You've got the tip ball and then the strip by Swan.
Yeah, the strip by Swan was a good heads-up play. I mean, that's a drill that we work every day in practice. It was good to see him punch it out. And then the pick, I thought our guys did a nice job of undercutting the route. I think all those guys showed why they play on defense instead of offense. I mean, it was like they were trying to grab, it was like the ball was greased up or something. But Josh Pettis eventually got his arms on it, and it was great to see our offense capitalize. And we talk about sudden change a lot, and I think our defense responding to the sudden change right before the half, and then our offense responding to the sudden change in the beginning of the fourth quarter on the pick. Were again, that was in the third quarter, right? Yeah. So those were 2 huge plays. Those are game changers.
Coach, talk about Sean Joplin. I mean, impressed with him tonight.
I mean, Sean's a talent. He's still learning how to play the game, and I thought he caught the ball much more consistently tonight. He's made those type of plays in practice all the time, and it's just getting him to carry that over to games and play more consistently. And he made some great plays last week at Florida, but he dropped a few, and I thought tonight he played much more consistently, and that's what we need from that position. I mean, he plays the position that Freddie Barnes played and Kamar Jordan played, so the standard at that position is very high, and he made a good step forward today with his play.
You talked about the growth of the team, and this might have been the type of game that you guys would have lost last year. Was it in terms of the attitude on the sidelines, not getting too high after a big play, not getting too low after a tough play? Could you elaborate more on just sort of this was the type of game that you would have lost last year?
Well, I mean, you go back last year in a lot of these tight games, whether it was, I don't even want to talk about them, they're bad memories. But we certainly have lost our share of them. And, we're capable of playing better than we played tonight. Certainly Idaho had a lot to do with that. But it was nice to find a way to gut out a game that maybe you're not playing your best football. And, it's great to go back and coach and make corrections after a win.
Just real quick one, how important was it to get a win here before next week?
Oh, it was huge. I mean, it's, our September schedule is not easy. And, we certainly opened with an SEC opponent, and And this was a big game for us, and this has been a great series, and it's probably appropriate it went down to the wire. And now we've got our rival and the team that's picked to win the West next week on the road. So it's certainly going to be a big challenge, but again, I think early in the year it helps to get a win and get some confidence, and we should have a very attentive group because they know what's at stake.
You talked about the line, and then after the key penalty, you moved Chip over to left guard and put Llewellyn out at left tackle. Do you think then that they played better after that point, those guys in your position?
Yeah, I mean, I think personal fouls are the most selfish penalties a guy can make, and you know, he had struggled in the first half, and at the point he made that, I just didn't want to play with him anymore. I mean, that could have been that could be a game killer, and we have options. You know, this is where I feel differently about our offensive line, is that we have struggled for 2 years to just find 5 guys we can play, and we have a little bit of depth this year. So if a guy makes a selfish penalty like that, you know, we'll put Chip in there and put Dominic Flow on the tackle, and we'll be fine. We won't miss a beat. So it was, you know, it was selfish. It really put our team in harm's way, and you know, I thought it stabilized having those other guys in there, so we can win with them.
Coach, one more. How great was the atmosphere out there tonight?
Students were awesome. The students were, before the game, they were loud. They were pushing me to run in the presidential election. In the fourth quarter, they weren't saying that, and I don't blame them. But the student crowd was awesome. The home stands were awesome. You know, I really hope we can get that same group back in 3 weeks when we play Rhode Island, because it certainly helps, and they gave us a lot of energy and a lot of juice that we needed.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.